Drogon, Dany's dragon, is not Lightbringer. It's all three of her dragons that are Lightbringer. And I think her three dragons probably match the three forgings of Lightbringer. It's going to be three times she needs to use them. It could be, three riders, her and two other people, or times that people try to steal them, something along those lines. But something's going to happen with all three of her dragons to mirror the three forgings of Lightbringer. Right? It wasn't just Drogon that was hatched in the last chapter of Game of Thrones. It was all three of her dragons, and she's had all three with her. And I think sometimes we kind of write off the other two or forget about them, because it seems like Dany forgot about them sometimes too, when they're locked away down under the pyramid while Drogon flies free. And we kind of put Drogon on a pedestal above the other two because it's the one that Dany rode off on. There's even a really cool bit of imagery talking about Dany's dragons in Dance of Dragons. It's in the Dany chapter where Zoro's own Daxus has come to visit to offer her the ships. And at the very end of that chapter, it's a Dany POV, Zoro recounts his visit to the Hall of the Pureborn. The Pureborn in Karth who he went to try and get some support, to solicit some support for Dany. And listen to how Zoro describes your dragons. When your dragons are small, they were a wonder. Grown, they are death and devastation, a flaming sword above the world. Really cool imagery comparing Dany's three dragons to a flaming sword, which is what Lightbringer is. My working theory right now about this is kind of, it's going to be two other riders, but they're going to be used in ways that don't help bring about the end of the Long Night and do what Azor Ahai's purpose is, but the third one will, and probably all three will pass away in the doing of those three things. I expect at the end of the story that, Dany and all three of her dragons and the others and anything else that's magical will probably be gone from the world. But there is a really funny coincidence that I think probably has something to do with it, and it's in the nature of what the three forging of Lightbringers are. Or, in the specifics of what the three forgings were. Right, the first forging was in water, the second was into the heart of a lion, and the third was Nissa Nissa. Well, right now, two of Dany's dragons, Rhaegal and Viserion, are still in Meereen, away from Dany, not being supervised her, and they've escaped. They're free to fly around, just while two of these symbols are sailing into Meereen, or are at Meereen, and that's Water, Victarion, and Lion, Tyrion. So Victarion, with his dragon horn, and Tyrion are probably both going to steal Dany's dragons and try to use them for their own purposes, for selfish purposes, in getting political power in Westeros, in the Seven Kingdoms. While Dany's will be used to help end the Long Night.